Hello again, it's April here, and today I've got for you a sketchbook tour. Not just one sketchbook, not just two sketchbooks, but, okay, it's still two sketchbooks, it's just split in half. 3 months, two sketchbooks. I thought I could do a little tour because I haven't shown this one at all online, I think, apart from maybe in a video. And then my September and October one were a struggle to get through, let me tell you that. So let's take a journey. We'll go back in the past together to August 2024. So I started the 3 materials challenge. This is when I went up to Keswick, and I think I went with Sidem, and we went to the German Pencil Museum. I was testing out lots of pencils. I got these guys here. So I think I was actually in the 3 materials challenge at this time, and I took this out with me to Keswick because I remember I was like kind of bored of using 3 materials. Not bored, but I just the rules that you have to follow. So on this day I took heaps of different coloured pencils and markers, and I think I took a pan pastel here, it looks like, and I just went kind of wild with the colours. This was sitting on the edge of Derwent Water, and this cute little duck was swimming around us, and it was swimming in circles. I think it was a seagull. I just drew it like a duck, but it was really cute. It was quacking a lot and swimming in circles. This one here I didn't like, and I still don't like. It's way too much. It's too much. We'll move on. Back to 3 materials challenge. So here I was testing out my new pencils, and then back to 3 materials. So this 3 materials challenge was pretty fun. We did a lot of different stuff, and I think I was actually combining it. So this was with maybe Odd Orange drawing sessions, and we were doing tools and stuff. Normally I have a sketchbook for different things. Like I have one for sessions, one for going outside, one for characters. But this month I put everything together. And that's how I managed to finish a sketchbook in a month, which will come back later in the story. This is subtle foreshadowing. So I moved on to birds. This was for a video I did on the bird cam feeder that I have, which I will pop the link here in case you've missed it. But basically the birds came, I watched them like a creep, I took photos of them, and then I drew them. And I did it all in the 3 materials challenge so I could feed 2 birds with 1 scone. I did a YouTube video, and I also took part in the challenge, which was nice. This pigeon was my absolute favourite to draw. I actually really enjoyed some of the 3 material challenge days, especially when I picked a good colour palette. For a few pages, only like 2 spreads I can't show because that's for an upcoming video and I don't want to spoil anything. I think this was done outside. It looks like it's a plein air sketch. I can always tell because they're very rushed and they're very basic. I'm not sure where this is, but yeah, definitely is an outside sketch. Oh, I know where this is. This is at Bleeton. And I was sitting here. This is a kind of funny story. I was sitting here. Martin had his camera with him. We were there quite early in the morning, and he was taking photos, and I was just sitting drawing this view. And a kingfisher came and sat on this fence here while Martin was off taking photos somewhere else. He had left me on my own. It was fine, but a kingfisher sat there for a good 2-3 minutes. When Martin came back, I was like, "You missed the kingfisher." He was so mad. So he sat down with his camera to wait for the kingfisher to come back. There were actually, I think there were 2 kingfishers there. And so I drew him sitting down. And after about 20 minutes, he packed his camera up. And as he was packing his camera up, the kingfisher came back again. He was not impressed. So I'm trying out some distress crayons here that I bought. I actually quite like them. They are messy, but I do quite like them. And then also on the same day that we took that the kingfisher came and I was sitting and drawing, we actually did a really long hike, and it was so hot. I was so tired by the end of it, and the only thing keeping me going was knowing that I was going to go for a swim afterwards in the tarn. And this is me wearing my, you know, the towel thing that you put over yourself to dry. That was me wearing that. I don't know what this is. I think I'm just testing materials out. And yeah, I don't know what this is either. Sometimes I just draw stuff and I have no recollection of drawing it. Like, I could not remember drawing this. I think it's cute though. I think it must have been warming up because these are blank contour drawings. And then over here I drew this little girl with a goose, which is actually really cute. Okay, then the next couple of pages are secret as well. But hopefully that video is coming out soon. And then the last couple of pages, I think I was just messing around. I think I was watching a lot of Emma Maliauka, her patron, and she had a exercise on it where they were drawing lots of different trees. So I think I was just messing around drawing different types of trees, which was a super useful exercise for me because whenever I have to draw a tree, I like get tree paralysis, and it's like I can't remember what trees look like, especially if I'm drawing them from my head. But yeah, this was fun, just drawing lots of trees. He wrote, "Weird trees, please," at the end. And that's it. So that is the end of August. So I finished the sketchbook in 20 days, I think. Is that 20 or 19 days? And then I thought to myself, wow, April, you finished an entire sketchbook in a month? Surely you can do it every month from now on. This was also that little duck that I saw that I drew on the front of my book. So I went into September very confident, extremely confident, in fact. I had this little pith sketchbook and I just drew, it was pink to begin with. I drew the green squares and did like a collage, a September collage. And I thought, hey, I can do this in a month. 100%. So number 59, I started in September. I think I started on the 1st. This was a really weird creature. It was just an ink blob. And when I had shut the page and opened it, it tore this bit off. And I thought it looked like a little creature. So I made it into a creature. This was me counting all of the extra hours I had done one week at work when I was really busy. This is one of the reasons I didn't finish the sketchbook, is because I was so busy at work. And I was also trying to get Goodnight Patchy Bunny illustrated, which I'll leave a link if you guys haven't heard of that. There's a couple of videos on here about it. But I did start off strong in September. These are some sketches I did from sketches. I drew sketches of my sketches from when I was doing an art market. And there was this woman here with this huge puffy coat, and she walked around the hall with these walking sticks. I thought she looked really cool. Then there was a girl there with a big fluffy coat. This lady who wore glasses on her face and glasses on her head. They weren't sunglasses on her head, they were another pair of glasses, so I'm not sure what was going on there. And then this lady was so cool. She had the coolest outfit on with these like red tartan pants, these sparkly blue docks, like a really cool hat, and she just looked like a really cool person. And then I drew this girl who I really loved her hair, and I drew her twice, so it looks like they found hair twins. I got super into drawing people in September actually, and this is from Pinterest now, but I was sketching these people again in a different sketchbook, and I was drawing them from my sketches rather than from the reference. And I'll pop a link. I actually made that into a whole video on Patreon if you're interested. My link to Patreon's below, you can see that whole video there. Some more people. This one's from Pinterest. I really love this page, not the character so much, just how big everything is, how it takes up the whole spread. And then I guess I moved on from people to penguins. I think I was just trying to warm up here. I had so many gaps in September, like day-long gaps, week-long gap. I just couldn't find the time. After the first few days of September, I just couldn't find the time, and it happened in October, even worse in October. But that's why I wanted to show you. It's like 1 month, I had a great month. I was drawing so much. But then, I mean, it's not the same. This is when we went to the bird reserve and we went to Leather Hide, which is one of the hides in the bird reserve. And I was just drawing little snippets. So like this is Martin's camera. This was the heron. And then there was a few ducks and things. It was really nice actually. I like drawing like this. Also, at the bird reserve, we got there super early in the morning to watch the sunrise and to see if we could see the birds, but I think we were still a bit late for the birds. And the moth people were there. I have never seen them before, but basically it was a group of people hanging around a plastic tub filled with moths, and they were like picking the moths up and they were showing each other the moths that they had found. And I did not know there were groups of people out there that were like me with birds, but with moths. It was fascinating. This bird was in our garden. We actually had a pair of collared doves who started visiting our garden in September, and I recently saw them just like last week, so I think they're still hanging around. They're really beautiful. They're not pink, but they're still pretty. And I think this is for, I think I was going back to doing drawing sketches from my sketches just because I enjoyed it so much. So this is something from Pinterest that I found. This is like an example of what I was doing. This is someone from Pinterest that I found, a little girl, and then I basically tried to stylize her and exaggerate her. I was watching a lot of Emma Muljauka's stuff, like I mentioned, during September, and this is one of the exercises she did as well, which has got me going on it, and I find her stuff super inspiring, very helpful, and yeah, if you haven't heard of her, definitely check her out. Just another little random page. Okay, so now I'm getting into the depths of September where I'm really busy. I have about 80% of my sketchbook left, and I'm like struggling. So I start panic drawing, and I filled an entire page up with this. It's just not something I would normally do, but it makes me chuckle. I think I was just drawing random stuff. Actually, a lot of these pages I was drawing at work, and I was rendering a lot and checking my work and stuff, and then having to re-render. It was 3D at the time. So if anyone does 3D animation, you guys will know how time consuming it is. So in between waiting for renders or like waiting for the computer to compute, I was drawing little sketches. So I would do like 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, and I'd fill up a lot of these pages. So a lot of these pages were done at work. You may have seen this because it was in one of my last videos for my little pencil tray that I made. I was just doing some designs to my pencil tray here, and I ended up with this one. Oh yeah, so this was just another stress drawing. It was just someone running away from renders. Yeah, we'll move on. I actually really love this page. It's another one I did at work, and I have no idea what it is or why it is, but I love it. It's just a cat sitting on a chair. I did like a negative space kind of thing here, but I love all the colours and textures. This is one of my least successful drawing from a drawing. I don't like how this one turned out, actually. And this must have been a plein air. Yeah, I think this is when we went up to Gummer's How to watch the sunset and have dinner. It was lovely, and I did panels again. So some little boats. This is a little fell called Core, which I really want to go on. It's like the perfect triangle. When you see it from the distance, it's like the perfect peak. These are the trees up on Gummer's How. They all grow sideways because it's windy up there. And then I just wrote rich people down here because there's a huge house on the lake shore. I think it must be a club, a boating club or something, but yeah. Oh, and I love this cow. This was also at Gummer's How, but I called it Gummer's Cow. I crack myself up. You have to keep yourself amused, you know. Oh, I love this page too. Actually, there's a few nice pages in this sketchbook. This was just testing out a whole bunch of materials. I think I was testing them out for Patchy Bunny, Goodnight Patchy Bunny, or something. I'm not sure. Oh, maybe it was to go away to visit Artie. I can't remember. But it was Monday vibes. Monday, back at work. I do this at work again. Oh, this is my team's doodle. So these are some people from work. See if you can guess who I am. I'll give you a clue. It's this one, the grumpy one. But these are some people from work, and we were just on a Teams call about the project I was working on. And then I really liked the idea of all these people on a Zoom call, like these weirdos on a Zoom call together. More cows. I think this is from Gummer's Cows again. I just drew them again. Does my head look big in this drawing? Yes, it does. Some more doodles, work doodles, just chilling at work and waiting for renders. And now we go back to Odd Orange. During this time, the reason why I struggled a lot is because I was also using this sketchbook and this sketchbook. So I was using this one for my sessions. So like all the drawing sessions I do or that I do with other people. And I think, was that? Yeah, so this session came from, this session here inspired the next few pages in my sketchbook. So this was the Odd Orange session that I did with all these pages. And they inspired the next few pages in my sketchbook because I really enjoyed that. But I also was using my outside sketchbook, which is my like plein air sketchbook. So the reason why I was struggling a lot is not only because I was super busy, but also because I just have this obsession with using different sketchbooks for different things. And I don't think I'm going to stop doing that. When these 2 sketchbooks are done, like the outside and the sessions, I'm just going to use 1 sketchbook a month because it's a lot easier. I'd rather fill up a sketchbook a month and have lots of different things in there and kind of see my progress than using up like 3 sketchbooks over 4 months or something. So Odd Orange session was about vintage mugshots, and after that I really went down the vintage mugshot route and I started drawing lots of vintage mugshots. It was super fun. This was a doodle for work. It was to do a little character at work. As you can see, my work stuff is like a lot different. Like this was me trying to loosen up because I have to draw this character at work, and I have to do stuff at work that was obviously not in my style because no one I mean, these are cool, but I don't think our clients will like that. So I had to do something that can also be used for animation. So if you imagine this, I design a character or whatever. It has to be in like a certain style to match the visuals, to match the branding, to match the client, and then I have to like animate it. So I think I ended up going for like this one here. It's kind of like almost like my very simple style that I do. But yeah, then I have to take that into like Illustrator or Procreate and to make the assets depending on how I'm animating it. So it's a whole process. Some fish people. I think we're getting closer to Halloween, to like October now, so I'm kind of getting in the Halloween vibes. I was playing with ink here. I really love these 2. They're my favourite. The little girl in a sheep costume. And a couple of kids in chicken costumes. Oh, and this rooster one. It's really cool. Yeah, I was definitely getting Halloween vibes, which is kind of funny considering I didn't draw hardly anything during October. Some more random people from Pinterest, I think. But I was really enjoying drawing my people. And at this point, I was just furiously trying to fill up my sketchbook, like, in whatever free time I had. But I really didn't have much free time at all in September. And October was worse. I think I did this for Patreon. I can't remember if these are for... I think this one was for Patreon, maybe. I'm not sure. I can't remember. And then these 2 are very different than what I would normally do. All in pencil. Very delicate lines. A lot different than I would normally do, but I really like it, actually. I think this was for Patreon because for one of my Zoom sessions, I did that same exercise where we drew something from a reference and then we drew from our reference. So yeah, that's what these are. I really love this girl with her little neon yellow ducks. This was also for work. So this is another set of characters that I was trying to design for work for something different. So you can see how completely different the style is from the last one, but also from my normal style. And this, like, I don't normally use my sketchbook for work stuff. I normally do it on loose paper, but I think that's literally how desperate I was to finish a sketchbook, is that I was letting my day job go into my sketchbook, which I never would do. And this is it. We went to Thai. I finished my project. I had worked so much on it. In 1 week, I did almost 2 weeks worth of work to get it finished. So Martin took me out for Thai as a reward because I finished it, which is so sad how we have to reward ourselves with these little things. But there you go. Whatever gets you through the day. And this was right at the end of October. I literally had 30 spreads left. I was like, I'm not going to finish this. And then I had the ingenious idea. So Martin had this little painting that he printed, but he printed it too small. He was meant to print it A3, and he printed it, as you can tell, a lot smaller. So I stole it and put it in my sketchbook. And then I had the ingenious idea to do a little page that was like flip, and then you'd flip the book and it would be October. So I wrote, it's not the best, but I think it's an apple, I'm not sure. It says flip here and then you flip it around and then it says flip again. So when you get to this page, you want to flip it up. So I flipped it around and I painted on the other side of the sketchbook for October. So now we're going to go into October. So October gets a bit crazy. I started it off delusional, thinking I could do Calmtober. I started maybe a day before October, I started October 1st designing my character. I wanted to do a little bear, and take him through all of these prompts. So I drew my little bear, and then I did the first prompt, which was basically because I was so burnt out at this point from work, and I had another project starting, and I was also doing Goodnight Patchy Bunny. I was so burnt out, I just copied one of my old drawings, and I didn't like how it turned out. So I thought, forget this. So I quit Calmtober in about 12 minutes, and I made a video about it with a very clickbaity thumbnail. So if you've seen that one, you'll know that I basically just quit to do my actual project that I'm meant to be working on for that indie book that I'm illustrating. So yeah. And then October, I drew about twice during the entire month of October, and then had a mad rush at the end. So I drew this bird, which was the collared doves again. They came to visit. I drew this cute little dog and cat dressed up. This was like my only Halloween drawings I did. Oh, here we go, some more pumpkins actually. I think I did this as part of my patron. Yeah, I did it as my October patron session. So we did spooky things, and we made up our own character. This was our own character that we made up. Everyone did different characters. And then I think Sarah Dyer also did this picture on her Zoom. I saw it the other day. And then we made up our own scene from different references. It was like pick your own references and make a scene up. And then I stopped drawing after that. I didn't draw until the end of the month. So I had an entire month. I basically didn't draw until right at the end of the month when I did Odd Orange. And I didn't use my sessions book like I had before. I used a sketchbook because I just wanted to finish it and start November fresh. Because, I mean, when you've made 2 sketchbooks out of one, there's nowhere else to go, you know? Like, you can't make a third one. We had a witchy session, so I really love this page, actually, this crow and the rabbit. So it was all spooky stuff, spooky statues and witches. It was a super fun session. I love Odd Orange sessions. This is probably my favourite page, and I really like this goat as well. And then I think we're getting almost to the end. So I believe this was maybe October, something like October 28th, 29th. Right at the end of October. This page I did extra. I didn't like this sketch I did. This hand turned out really weird, so I drew her again. It's from The Witches, the film The Witches. And then I did some October spooky drawings. But guys, I have to admit to you, I didn't do these until November. I started November 1st, trying to bring back some October into my life just because October was such a blur. It was so busy. At this point, I had finished Goodnight Patchy Bunny. The illustrations, I sent them off to the client, so I'm waiting to hear back from the author. And in the meantime, I did a mad rush over the weekend to finish a sketchbook. So I was still in the Halloween mind. I love this girl here. I was still super in Halloween. So I was doing like characters and spooky things. And then the last couple of pages were just some little landscapes. So this is actually from my studio window. This is like the house across the road that I see. These are some trees at the end of the road. And then we had this murmuration of, I don't know what birds they were, maybe crows, a few weeks ago. Oh, it was amazing. They were so beautiful. I've never seen something that up close. It was literally above the house across the road. So I drew this from a photo. I drew this one. This is of Kendall. It was when we did... when they had the Kendall Lights festival, so like they do like a torchlight procession. This page actually was covered in people like all across here, but I didn't want to draw all the people, so I just drew a few people in the fish and chip shop. And the last page I actually asked on Instagram, should I do a spooky one or should I do an autumn landscape? And they voted autumn landscape. So I don't know how autumny this is. It's just another picture I took, I think it's of Kendall as well, of all the houses up the hill. And I wanted to put, I don't really like how it turned out. I don't like the mix of materials I used, but it's not bad. And I also popped these little ghosts on, which are getting very dirty now, and that's it. And then you get to here and you flip it up again. So that was my 3 months, 2 sketchbook tour. Probably the last tour. I might try and do another one next month because I have, against my better judgment, decided to try and do another sketchbook in a month. I'm just going to give it a go again, see how it goes. So pop back in November to see if I completed that, I guess. So that's all for me. Have a lovely rest of your day, and I will catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.